Okay, let's start the session. Hello, my name is Dev Karlekar. I welcome you all at another introductory session hosted by Guru Schools. I thank you for investing your time early in the morning. Today's topic is Python data science. It's an introductory session. Uh, it's a very niche training track, mainly meant for people who are looking to work on emerging, futuristic, highly demand technology area, which has a huge demand and potential in the near future. Now, let me give you a backdrop of Guru Schools. Guru Schools, as the name suggests, it's a modern marketplace in the form of ancient Gurukul ashram. We strongly believe education is one strength that once it comes to you, it stays with you forever. By sharing, it only helps to grow multifold. So what we do at Guru Schools, well, we bring the world-class information technology training education to the ambitious people such as yours by giving of theoretical as well as practical experience. Also for many lateral and experienced people working on older technology skill set platform, it also helps towards upgrading themselves by upskilling, learning, unlearning, and relearning the demanding skills. Thus, their price tag increases in corporate America, and their compensation also increases with the help of renewed learning. What we do, well, along with the theoretical and practical training, we also help towards by exposing our internal projects. It helps you to have a reference ready resume preparation, which will have all the bells and the whistles, what is required for a particular technology. Our HR and trainers will also help you towards the vendor interview preparation, as well as for the end client interview preparation. Once you secure a job in a corporate America, we will be in a standby mode, giving you project support for up to 6 months. What does that mean? That means it's not a mere training. It's along with the training is investing our time and efforts towards helping you come up with a reference-ready resume which has the bells and the whistles, helping you spoon-feed you towards the vendor interviewing, client interviewing, and as well as giving you ongoing project support, so that our success lies in your success, and as you make money, we make money. Okay. Along with Python data science, some of our other technology-focused areas, in no particular order, are cloud DevOps, big data, Java full stack microservices, MuleSoft, .NET full stack, robotics process automation, Selenium QA automation, business intelligence, visualization, reporting tools like Tableau, Click, Power BI, and others, Salesforce administration and development, validation, quality management, business analysis, project management, Scrum, and also Oracle NetSuite ERP. Most of these technology training tracks are, I would say, between 6 to 8 weeks, encompassing weekday and weekends, 1.5 hour a session. So that, in 6 or 8 weeks, you get a very compressed learning. All these training tracks are recorded and archived. So in case you miss a particular training track, you can always catch up, and all of you will be clubbed in a WhatsApp group, particularly made for Python data science. So, there is always an interaction between the students and the trainer, along with the HR and recruiting team members. This training is free for you if you are planning to work on Guru School or Guru School owned staffing companies. We own few other staffing companies. So between Guru School projects or any of our staffing projects, if you plan on working after this training, this will cost you nothing. It's our way of investing in people and also helping corporate America towards reducing the unemployment. Okay. We have also invested in an offshore certification company. So many of you, if you're looking to get yourself certified in not only Python but any other technologies, we will be there towards helping you prepare for that particular technology track and get you certified, which also acts as value added upgrade and feather in your hat towards your career in corporate America. We work with various universities in the USA towards their website design, curriculum development, as well as a student exchange program. We primarily work with most of the Indian outsourcing companies, as well as the US staffing companies towards supplementing them for the contract and full-time positions. And also, primarily in the tri-state area, we work with many small, mid-sized clients like hotel, motel, restaurants, doctors' practice towards providing them the website design, development, and digital marketing. Some of these projects, if not all, also serves as an opportunity for the students, to be in kind of an simulated or real-time hands-on project. Now, these are difficult times. In light of COVID-19 pandemic, the entire globe is going through a recession. US is not an exception. In light of 20 million job losses in the USA, I guess we are doing our level best towards helping people as well as corporate America by reducing the unemployment, as we will be enabling you in a career-oriented skills. Okay. How are we unique? We are unique in a way, unlike most of you have either gone through training or have seen the training, they are asking you for a fees in terms of enrollment, which you'll be paying, and that's about it. So they are there to make money on you, whereas, as we said, this training will cost you nothing if you're unemployed and looking to get a job. For those who are employed and just need this as an upgrading their skills, for them it will cost $500. Or for those who are not looking to work through us, already have a job or will work through somebody else, for them it will cost $500. But for the rest of you all, it will cost you nothing. Okay. So that's how we have been unique, because our focus is not to make quick bucks, but we are more focused on building your career and creating a career-guided, employment-oriented focus. In today's session, as I said, it's an introductory class. It will give you enough information covering at a holistic level, a summarized overview on Python and data science analytics. You'll also get an opportunity to interact with the trainer. We were supposed to have 2 trainers, but Shiva, he had some family emergency. His mother is not well. So, for today's training, we will have Ravindra. Otherwise, as and when we start this training track in December, we will have at least 2 + 1, 3 trainers, 2 male, 1 female, just to make sure we are covering both the genders. And considering it's a very high-end, niche, demanding technology track, we always make sure we have at least 2 trainers to do a justice and do our level best to give you a condensed, summarized training. Okay. So without doing any further ado, I welcome Ravindra. Ravindra, thank you so much for giving your time, and it's all yours. Thank you.
No problem. No problem. Thanks a lot, guys, and it's great. We are starting the long weekend with such a heavy topic. Yeah, it's highly technical topic, We are trying to understand one of the most highest paying job currently. We are trying to understand the highest paying track currently, which you can really enjoy, really learn through and through. This is basically kind of extensions to the technology which we have currently, which are still evolving. So there's nothing what you can say completely evolved product as such. We do provide solution, we do build products, specifically something called artificial intelligence, something called machine learning, something called data science. All these three tracks or solutioning are still evolving, it's still growing. So let's take it lightly. There's no specific format or specific project for these technologies. What you are trying to learn are the concept, you're trying to learn the platform, you're trying to understand the different programming methodologies which are being used currently. But the partygram is changing day by day, means there's a new tool comes in, and we'll try to understand that as well, how this works for us, how we are going to build our team, how we are going to build our resources, and then sort employment for the current corporate America, so that we can perfectly align with the business requirement, we are perfectly aligned with the latest technology modifications upbringing, and how to make yourself up and running with the new tools available for the given scenario. So today we are going to start with a platform called Python. Python is the basic platform where we normally is the most easiest platform in the technology stack. There are others like R, C, C++, and there are time as a dozen platform when you come to development in AI specifically. And here we are trying to understand the data science, machine learning, that's overall artificial intelligence with Python. So we're going to understand, we're going to start with the basic Python learning skill, right? So before I start, let me take you to my introduction. I'm Ravindra Pandey. I've been with Guru School for last 20 odd years. Me and Shiva, we do these tracks quite often. This is quite often in the sense, this is a 2-month long track, so it naturally happens after 2 months gap, and so on. So we continue those things. Any question for me? We are trying to understand newly evolving technology, and what are the basic terminologies, basic technologies which we can leverage right now for solution giving. About me, I'm Ravindra Pandey. I have 26 years plus experience in IT. I have traveled around 16 countries. I worked around 16 countries and 5 continents all over the globe. I have a ample amount of experience in terms of management, in terms of solutioning, in terms of coping up with the latest technology, and that's where this whole new track is the highest paying job currently and highest evolving technologies currently. So that's a kind of what you can say a green or really a great likable things for a technocrat like me, right? So that's how the whole scenario currently. Let's try to understand this track. Let's try to throw some lights, how we're going to do it, how we're going to achieve it, and how we basically do it. As Devji clearly explained, Guru School, we train, we nurture, we help you throughout the interview, on job as well. So it's not like a ribbon cutting ceremony. We teach and we leave you high and dry in the sun. No, not like that. We normally work closely for a long-term engagement, even with a client, with our resources, with our trainers, with our training participants as well. So that's what the Gurukul is all about. We are looking for a long-term engagement. We are looking for a long-term nourishment of the resources, including trainers. We keep learning. We keep evolving by ourselves, and that's how the track symbolizes, right? So let's try to understand data science, right? If you ever heard of data science, right? Data science is still a science. It's not a completed solution, not a completed track, or not a completed or finite technology, as I say. Like we talk about artificial intelligence, it's a philosophy, it's a way of solutioning, right? That's what we call. Same thing like data science. We do data science, we do R&D, we build solutions from data. But how do we build it? Let's try to go step by step and try to understand how do we do it, what we do, and overall how the solutioning gets into real life, how it affects, how it supports the overall business. That's what we're going to have a look at today. How do you master something still evolving, right? How do you master analytics? How do you master the science of the data, of the data? What do you mean by mastering data science? Well, let's try to understand that. Let's try to understand this using different technology in Python. Python is a platform. Python is a interpreter-based language which really evolved over the time. They have added many already defined libraries like SciPy, NumPy, MathTwice. These are which are already there. You can build this library according to your domain need, according to your solution need, and that's how we're going to teach you how to build a new library. First, we'll go with the Python. We'll try to understand how Python works, the language, its basic, including the variables, including the different syntactical methods, including different permutation combination as in a normal programming platform. We're going to teach them. We're going to work together. We'll have something like hands-on approach. We do practical training. We do workshop. Almost each week we have a small, at least 1 or 2 hour workshop, so that whatever we taught, whatever we shared as knowledge, how much we conceived it, how much we can understand it. If there are any gap, we'll address those gap and then we go ahead. That's how we do in our trainings, and I think that's the most suitable scenario for a new joinee as well. So if you are a new joinee, please don't get baffled. Please don't get irritated by such high-flowing words, because as an IT technocrat, I do tend to go to a really highly technical words. So please pardon me on that, and please keep flowing your questions. I will request you to start with your question. So be with me for 10-15 minutes, and you'll have that gap to ask your question as well. Opportunity to ask your question as well, right? So as we talked about, we are looking for a training with extensively practical workshops, hands-on approach. So we do try things more and learn things more. That's how we work. We grow together. We are looking for a long-term engagement. That's the overall thought process at Guru School, and that's how we are learning. And then machine learning. Machine learning is basically making the machine learn on its own. That's the philosophy. That's the kind of the basic idea how it started. We talked about movies like Terminator and AI-enabled machines ruling the humanity and all those things. So how that idea can be achieved, how we can go and to that level. That's not the aim right now as in solutioning, but yes, we are trying to make certain machine able to learn certain things, and how we going to do that, that's also we'll learn, that's also we'll understand. And that's what the overall machine learning is all about. This is the AI at its peak, AI at its applicability as of now, and that's what we're going to learn. And this is a kind of very niche skill, as Devji clearly said. This is specifically used for R&D and very high paying jobs. So for that matters, we are trying to understand these latest technology, latest enhancement, latest evolutions, so that we can get the highest paying job for ourselves, be it R&D, be it in corporate America. Okay, so this is overall about the environmental things, right? Let's try a deep dive in element by element, or part by part, or training capsule by training capsule throughout the training. So we talked about Python. So let's try to understand what is Python as a platform. There are many platforms you might have heard of, starting from something like assembly, C, C++, .NET, Java, and so on. So these are different platforms where programmers sit together, they develop something, they construct something, and they deploy something to some server, to some computer, to some Android phone, to some laptop, and the solutions start working. That's how we help the business, right? So Python is as such platform. It's also evolved in a greater way, but this is basically coming from a big, more of scientific community than the overall commercial community. So Python is more lean towards the R&D, lean towards the scientific community, and they have developed this platform. They have evolved this platform for some niche market, some of the niche gaming or AI type of markets, so that we have certain libraries, we have certain functionalities more evolved in those lines, in those thought processes, in those type of solutioning, right? And that's how we're going to use Python. There are other platforms also who are still evolving. They are, as compared to as Python goes, they are also doing good. But Python, why we chose Python is because it's the most simplest platform. Simplest, even if you're a graduate, if you know a bit of technicality, you can start using platform, you can start creating solution by yourself. And that's why Python is the most easiest thing, and anyone can contribute, right? And that's how we're going to teach you to to start with Python, the Python programming, how to build variables, how to peep in value, how to build files, how to build tables, how to hit the database, how to build this what you can say decision nodes, what you can say libraries can be pulled in or included in a programming execution, so that the machine or the Python or the program itself can learn from its historical errors or historical decision nodes. That's how they say it in a programming. So let me not confuse with the technicality as on a larger scale, but we are trying to understand how it works, right? So there'll be a bit of technicality, and bear with me if you're confused, do ask questions, right? So let me tell you the best thing about Python. Python is widely used by many technology giants like Google, NSA, that should be NASA. Yeah, NSA also, National Security Agency. NSA uses Python internally. NASA uses Python. Netflix, the most widely used libraries used for customer behavior analytics, they use Python. YouTube use Python. Boston Dynamics, one of the biggest robotics company or Internet of Things IOTA company, uses Python. And if you know Torrent, BitTorrent uses Python to analyze the user reach, user base, user hit rates, and all those things. I believe, as in technocrats, we closely work on torrents, and BitTorrent is one of the most advanced torrent available in the line of Kickaxe and all those other torrents as well. So you could understand from these examples how mature the Python platform is and why we should use it. If you know any of these technology giants, if they are using Python for their applicability, for their internal solutioning, that's how the matured platform is, right? So I'll stop there. Does anybody have any questions for me at this moment? Okay, so I'll move ahead. Right, the most and the great thing about Python is its simplicity. It's solution oriented. It's an open source. It's freely available, so you don't have to pay anything to start working with platform. And I think that's the best thing. Even the IDE, it's one of the open source IDE, and it's quite good, well matured. So you don't have to pay anything to start using the overall Python development, including the what you can say integrated development environment. That's what we call IDE in technology, fraternity. And the portability, it has really great portability. You can port it to Android, you can port it to iPhone, you can port it to BlackBerry and all sort of various devices. It's compatible with Java, so you can embed the Java code in Python as well, or vice versa. It can be embedded with other platform, interpreted execution line by line, so building is easy. There are no 2014 errors like we see in C or Visual C and those type of platforms. There are hardly line by line executions. So the error reporting is quite easy, straightforward. It supports object-oriented programming, so we can have classes, objects derived from, implemented, inherited from, and all those type of abstraction also can be achieved in Python. That's about the overall Python as a platform. Now let's try to understand. Let's try to take a step further about data. We talk about data science. Do we know there's nothing in the definition called data science in technocrat? Means nobody have ever defined data science as a specific terminology. It's just a research term. Even when Forbes reported data science in 2016 as the highest paying job, I think even Gartner also using tells you as the most sexiest job in data science, other basically data scientist jobs and these things. So these are really came to light in last couple of years, so that everybody started looking for data scientist. So what does data scientist do? Let's try to understand that, because when you want to be one, to understand what this guy does, right? What do we need to be a data scientist? To be, frankly speaking, why Python? Python, we say it's going to help us, but how? Why? Those kind of stuff, right? So we do develop solution in software focus with a software focus on data. We are not a software developer as in data scientist. Data scientists are kind of a researcher. He or she is not a data developer. He is a scientist. He do research. He builds some solution for researching. So basically, this is a research fellow trying to build solution with the computers, trying to build solution with lots and lots of data thrown to him by the business or by the fraternity where he is attached to, and doing research from them. So that's the in a single sentence, that's how the data science work culture or the work roles and responsibility has been defined or has been evolved to, and still it's evolving. Now when I tell you about your research scientist, yes, you do write solution, you do make solutions, you do programming. So what type of programming do? So what I do, I collect the data, I analyze the data, I build some statistical model, I build some algorithmic solutions, I build some really great solutions where the business can be inherited with the decision, help with the decision making. They can build more on-fly decisions with the data rather than depending on human efforts. That's what the AI participates in. So what the data scientists do, they build the solution so that the solution itself shares the decision making, depends on the data availability. Let's think about an environmental data scientist build a solution to predict typhoon or to predict flooding. So how that will work? That will work with the data collected from past decade, monthly data of temperature variations, monthly data of humidity variations, monthly data of cloud shifting or the warm breeze shifting or the warm air flows movement across the area, and then try to plan these graphs, understand these graphs, analyze this graph, and predict a decision saying in a probability for a given region, the solution will predict 60% of probability of flood or 80% probability of flood. And these are a probability calculation, these are statistical calculation, and has been done by a software than a human, because we believe the machines, the computers can do calculation faster in terms of crunching the data, in terms of understanding the historical trends and building or escalating the trends to the future, or enhancing or extrapolating the trends to the future or the current scenario, so that we can predict based on the trend data. We can predict on the basis on certain variables. That's how the data science basically builds in. That's how data science basically helps to take the overall so that's how the overall data thing is data scientist is going to build the solution for a business fraternity. Right now, let's try to take it in a lighter way. So what do? We take a human problem as a data scientist, we take it to a computer level, we make it a computer problem. There's a basically lighter joke in this, but yes, let's try to understand in a philosophical sense. So we take a human problem, like we try to find flooding forecast in a given region. We were just discussing that, right? So we'll try to analyze the data. As a data scientist, I feed in data to the computer, I create that problem to the computers, I throw that problem on a computer, so computer starts crunching the data. And I'm talking about really strong computer, because if you look at the environmental data, it's normally into petabytes. So to start crunching the data, we build some graphs, we build some really visual techniques, so that we can predict the anomaly coming in the near future. And what we are talking about, if you crunch out a data of last 10 years, you can predict the data for the next couple of months at least, up to a great accuracy. And that's where we reach. So we can predict this flooding, typhoons now early in days. And we could have seen, we have been saving many lives across all North American regions, in Canada, including the other countries which are near and dear to US. And that's how we are helping overall to the world as well, because we are understanding the data very well, we are analyzing the data very well, and now we can crunch the data as a scientist. So I build the data science models, I build the data science model, so that it will be applied to the programming, or it will be applied to the train extrapolations as in mathematics. So when I say 2 plus 2, that's how the confirmation of these unfortunate events can be predicted up to a great success and great accuracy, and then we convert these deductions to an English like statement, and this all done with a solution. This solution is what data scientists create. Normally this data scientist works in a team because there are quite a few things which are included in a given solution. It can be programming, it can be data pulling, pushing, data analyzing visually, understanding the visual anonymity as well, understanding the patterns in the environment, understanding the patterns of the data, data building, or data modification and those scenario as well. So that's how the data scientists are building solution, right? And that's what the data scientists do as a job basically. So this is still evolving field. We are trying to understand how to build artificial intelligence from the data which we have in our pocket, and how to extrapolate to a level where I can clearly build more accurate projections for a near future. That's the overall aim of the solutioning as far as data scientist goes. Do I make myself clear, or are there any confusions? Could you please mute yourself if you're not talking, because then at least others will hear the disturbances. It's a humble request. Yes, anybody have any questions for me at this moment?
Makes sense.
Sure, no problem. And this is what we're learning. So even we will learn together. We'll learn as a team. So what we talked about, we collect data, we analyze data, we process data, and we present data. It's simple, right? That's the straightforward what you call data sciences. Now let's try to go deep dive into it. We are talking about some statistical, we are talking about probabilities. We are talking about math differentiations, math integration. We are trying to crunch the data mathematical way, not just analyze in the sense the way business analysts do. Business analysts do analysis for a business. So they are normally tend to find the results which are required for the business, or they tend to provide the decision making support for the business. The data scientists build a solution to provide support for the world overall. So we are talking at a quite larger audience. We are talking about a quite huge amount of data. Normally we use some solutions which are really are heavy on data crunching. Kumar, could you please mute your mic? Kumar KP. Yeah, thanks Kumar, thanks a lot. So yeah, so where were I? Okay. So I was talking about the difference or understanding overall how gradual a business analyst can move to a data scientist role, and we are trying to understand the gaps there, right? So we are crunching the data, we are analyzing the data like business analysts, but mostly at a mathematical level, and the data volume is quite high. It's exponential data. And why do we need it? Because nowadays if you look at the data explosion, let's try to understand a problem. When I started using phone in 1996-97, the data throughput of my phone is normally into KBs. Believe me, a text SMS can crunch up to 3 KB or 3.5 KB, right? A normal call can crunch up to 100 KB or 150 KB in those days. Nowadays, you talked about 3-layer encryption for call. You talked about at least average consumption of a data in North America is around 6 GB per month. Means try to understand how much data are we crunching. So, and that's a single user crunching the data in a normal American cellular network. Now, when I try to analyze this thing, how data is being consumed, I need to have a computer. I need to have statistical calculations. I need to understand the different application, their consumptions, the regional differentiations. I need to build a model. I need to build a visual graph first, and then try to differentiate these anomalies or the solution requirement for different regions. So a resource in California might consume more on movies. A resource in Hollywood can consume more on movies. A resource in New York might consume more on something like stock market, and so on and so forth. So the regional consumption is differ. So the services required are different. So the support they require are different. And how do we support them? As in business problem, we do work, we do analyze, we do crunch these data, we do analyze a particular regional or particular consumption need and support them in depth in concurrently moving scenarios. And that's how the even telecom have been migrated to data science than analysis process, so that they can support these users effectively, they can move with the users, they can adopt the data explosions with the users as per the need, so that they can serve better, they can earn more. And this is how the business cycle is going on, right? And data science is basically relates to mining, machine learning, and normally allied on with big data, because we are talking about gigabytes of data to be crunched in a given day, and if not petabytes. And that's how the overall data crunching, data analyzing, data study goes overall in data scientist solution, right? And then let's try to understand how Python sits in. Now Python was I think one of the first platform where they started building this library. They started building this data crunching programming libraries or statistical methods, so that these various technology groups have been sharing with within themselves. So there's a big community of data science inside Python platform, and this is basically open system. They shared everything, means they have those process inbuilt. Wherever they define a solution, they release it to the world free of cost, so that even the scientists across the world can add their intelligence. They can support the newly evolved solutions, which is free of cost, and can share it across the world after their addition as well. That's how the Python growth have been achieved, and it's substantial growth, believe me. If you look at the overall AI fraternity, Python group is one of the most biggest groups of data scientists across the globe right now. And why? We have some good libraries like NumPy, pandas the world, spicy, SciPy, and so on and so forth. There are quite a few there. Basically, we are going to learn these 4 at least to start with, and that's how the course is planned. So let's take try to understand how the course is planned and how we move one by one to these scenario. So what we talk about: data analysis, do some statistical calculation, do some programming, because whenever we need to build certain automated things, there we require programming. And after analysis, we say we post this automated solutions to a server. Wherever the business feed the data, the solution itself can generate results for them, which are pretty much English like. So they learn by themselves, the solutions will learn by themselves. They'll try to basically rebuild the results by themselves whenever the time and material requires those things. So we talked about machine learning, we talk about deep learning, we talk about predictive analysis most of the time, and that's how the overall data scientist solution giving fraternity look right now. Do anybody have any questions for me at this moment? Let's try to understand how the course is planned, so that we'll try to go element by element and try to understand how the overall execution of consumption of 6 weeks for training participants will look like. So we'll start with overall learning platform, learning Python. We'll try to understand the overview of Python, how the Python, how it compatible with data science. Try to understand something called Anaconda. This is basically overall editor. There could be some different editor also, depends on the overall requirement of the scenario, or the best editor available for the Python environment, and we'll take that one, right? So as I said, this platform is evolving, so the labels mentioned here can vary up to a considerable extent. So let's not try to quote for the libraries which we use, or the labeled libraries, or the label editors or IDs here, right? So let's try to understand. Just we are trying to share the overall the structure of the course. The elements, the few elements can vary at actuals, right? So let's try to understand those things. We'll try to understand. We'll try to take the resource as an novice as far as programming goes. So we'll try to teach him what do you mean by syntax, what do you mean by interpreter, compiler, how to install Python, how to install and configure Python on his or her laptop, so that they can practice on their own. This is of course an online training, so we're trying to handhold these training participants to a level where he or she can start on its own, and then take our help to build these things, build the solutions, and we'll build it together. So there are lots of handholding practices what we believe are the best practices, and that's how we learn. Then we talked about various libraries, NumPy, SciPy, and various others available, and we'll try to learn how to use this library, how to use this library programmatically for a decision making process, for understanding of how to learn, how to make the machine learn, how to make the program understand the differentiations of something like a picture of apple and picture of orange. So how does a a laptop or a computer program can understand these difference of visual representation. Then also, of course, we'll try to understand the object structures, various variables available in Python, how we use them, how to use the dictionary comprehensions, the variables, value labels, basic operations, mathematical, string, date, overall control flow, conditional statements, if, else, the loops, and all those flora and fauna of the Python as a platform. So that's overall planning. And for this, I think we've planned for almost 1.5 weeks to learn Python as a platform, and then slowly, steadily, we'll have certain advanced technique. We'll teach about debugging, code profiling, code standardization, building some secure code, building some using some coding conventions, standard coding practices. Then we'll try to learn overall different functions, Lambda functions, how to apply functions, how to apply class, the abstract layer building, how to build models, how to build a couple of modules and have the interactions going on in between them with an automated way. That's overall Python and the environment in Python. That's what we build right now. We have not included any other things, or we have not prepared these solutions for MI, AI, or those things. We are just trying to explore platform as a platform Python for development or programming. Right now, let's go a step further. Let's try to understand these different libraries available, how we can leverage them, what are the different methods we need to use, how these methods are utilized for storing the decision making nodes, how to select nodes, how to verify these decisions, how to learn from historical nodes, and so on and so forth. So slicing, indexing, reshaping, combining arrays, overall math functions, and overall functions available in different libraries itself, and how to implement this thing programmatically. That's what we understand. And we'll do a small workshop of trying to build a basic self-learning program or self-awareness kind of program whenever we through with the basic Python learning and trying to integrate this library with the Python platform. That's the overall agenda here. Then we move to data science. We're trying to understand how to create categorical data, how to understand and generate connection with various big data databases, how to do a buffered data pooling pushing so that we can use the data manipulation tools effectively. We'll have some operator function packages learning. We'll also learn the overall analysis and exploratory data analysis functionality available, and we'll try to build some different type of analysis, different type of distributions and analysis, including graphical data or visual representation of our data. And then there are various techniques basically planned to be taught and learned. Again, I'll say these are as per current scenario in the sense I think 15 days back, that's when we have updated this training schedule. So these schedules get updated every 15 days. So there could be some name changing, as I told you. There could be some better library came or released by the Python Open Data Science fraternity, and we might incorporate those things so that we are up and running. We are really working on the latest technologies and tools available across the fraternity, right? And I'm really happy to share with you, we have already have quite a few association with these technical fraternity, so that as an give and take things which we do on almost weekly basis with these different groups, so that they keep sharing different goodies, best practices, secure practices, coding standardization techniques, or even connection standardization techniques for various data tools, various visual tools which are developed within the open fraternity, and how to use them and those scenario. So these teams or these groups helps a data scientist a very long way, and that's what we're going to share with you as well, so that you also grow with this open fraternity. Try to utilize the latest in the market, so that you don't reinvent the wheel. So there is a kind of inbuilt reusability in the training. That's what we are really proud to use, so that you also don't keep inventing the wheel again and again. We try to leverage whatever already done, and we'll try to use those library. That's the basic use of library, and that's why even if we build any new library with the new idea, new concept, we'll share with the fraternity, and everybody else can also add value to it, and we can make it more stable, more useful for the globe altogether. That's how the fraternity working right now, and we are glad to be part of such groups. Now, yes, visualization tools. As a typical analyst, as a typical scientist, there are many ways to represent data. There are many ways to analyze data and build some good charts, plots, histograms, and then also on top of these, try to have a decision-making system in place, so that whenever your program sees a graph, chart, or box, that program must be able to interpret the overall reading of the graph, or trying to convert it to English-like sentence. That's the overall data scientist solution is all about. That's what we build, that's what we develop, and that's how the overall fraternity is evolving. So that try to understand overall inferential statistics, descriptive statistics, probability distributions, try to understand discrete and continuous distributions. So these are different type of distributions or sampling we are talking about. We'll learn these things. We'll also try to learn standard error and center limit theorem, so that the visual conception can be converted to English like business statement, and we can represent to a business community, and that's how the overall solutioning is get finalized as far as the AI or the visualization solutioning is concerned, right? And then there are other methods and other techniques available, like statistical method, the Z-test, T-test, ANOVA, and various other tools and techniques also available, and they are still evolving. So we are learning this, we share this learning with you, and we learn together. We grow some more, you grow some more. That's how we work, because these are really evolving platform. Then of course machine learning, one of my favorite topic to share, to learn together. That's what I'll say. We'll try to understand how the use cases are being built. These are the functionality requirement of a typical machine learning solution. Then we try to build the process flow categories. Then we'll try to understand the regressions, different regressions available, how the decision tree is working, how the algorithm are being clapped for a given decision tree or decision inductions, and then build this effective solutioning for the business. We'll try to understand different learning methodologies, so that the solution can understand certain things and take the inference automatically rather than any human intervention, right? So that's the overall I think the basic aim of this machine learning. Try to make the machine or the program learn by itself and share the overall finding with us, right? That's how we're going to learn. And then there are different techniques which we are using here, like cluster techniques, K means state clustering, C means clustering, hierarchical clustering, and different techniques are there, still evolving, and depends on the domain you working, depends on the problem at hand. We choose these techniques and we apply these techniques with a given data set, and we try to deduce certain results, try to build some decision nodes, try to present decision nodes for an English like statement, so that whatever results we get, they are more towards business prone, and they are what the business is basically requested for. That's how the overall solutioning as far as machine learning works. there are various Internet of Things or embedded methodology techniques also used nowadays. We have something like TensorFlow, which is a Google-based library which we use for ML, and it's really being effective or widespread currently shared across the globe. It's really evolving fast. They have really great amount of data for machine learning as far as Google TensorFlow is considered, and they also evolved with certain hardware so that there are infrastructure lineup or infrastructure support gone to a really next level as far as Google's R&D is going, and it's really long came a long way. And as a certified Google trainer, I do advocate all the advancements in TensorFlow and related ML libraries, and we will learn those things. We'll share with you, and we'll learn all these things together. Let's try to understand a step ahead. We'll try to understand the reinforcement learning overall, the different dilemmas, explosion greedy algorithm. There are many various algorithms, but I've just included whatever I felt are important. There could be some algorithm which you might have heard of or you might want to use. We could use those algorithms. We'll try to build a solution using those algorithms. We'll try to create a solution across those algorithms. So let's not limit ourselves. Let's not what you can say. This training is a kind of open forum the way I see it, and as the solutioning is also evolving, the platform is evolving. So we will work closely with all the participants and try to build a better and better solution day by day. And that's what the positive thought which I want to close this understanding of the technical points. Now, how does machine learning works? I like this overall idea of represent in a single slide. So we are talking about an ordinary system with AI. What we do, we try to learn, we try to predict, we try to improve, and these are the three basic things which do change the solution from a normal solution to a AI-based solution or ML-based solution. That's a typical image which I like, so I just collected it today, right? And on that note, I want to stop here. Yes, and this is what I like really. This is shared by Devji. Education is all about learning you to use your mind, not filling up with the information. This is what I am doing right now, trying to throw on some good words which I know, which you are still trying to understand. Please pardon me for those things. Let's try to understand this together. Let's try to build some better life. Let's try to build some better solutions. And this is how the IT fraternity is working right now. Do you have any questions for me at this moment?
Very good, Ravindraji. Let's do some questions and answers. Again, this session is recorded, so we will be uploading a recorded copy on our website as well as on our YouTube page, Facebook page, and LinkedIn page. So those who would like to know more on Python and or other training tracks, we have another introductory training session on Salesforce administration and development happening later today at 8:30 Eastern time. So those who are looking to get more information on the sales CRM can join that session also. But let's wait for the questions and answers, particularly for this training track.
So my question is, this is very interesting, and whatever you said made a lot of sense. Few questions. As this is a lot of cutting edge technology right now, someone who's technically quite adept but not really into IT, could they just jump in and start learning it? Because this is something which looks interesting, and also I believe it will pay better than most of the other lines. I'll repeat my question. My question is, can someone who's new, not from IT, but has a very good technical sense and has a technical education, non-IT,
I'll answer that. Sure,
Yeah.
I'll answer that. Ravindra can add more to it. Is the appetite to learn coming with an open mind, having a fire in the belly, and understanding the importance of that particular aspect, right? Like learning English may not be
Right.
the first language for many of us,
Right.
or coming to USA is always a first time one has to do.
Okay.
So needless to say, people who know SQL, people who have worked on the backend database, they will always have a leg up. In a sense, it will be much easier for them to catch up with. But this
But
is
it's
where the
doable.
future is. This is where the future is. This is where, whether you talk about big data or data
Machine
science,
learning.
Python is what next 5-10 years is going to dominate. Cloud DevOps. So if you're looking to enter in, needless to say, there'll be enough opportunities, right?
Okay.
In terms of the business growth,
Mhm.
because that's where the truckload of opportunities will be coming in. Now
Okay.
that's a different story. You may not make 250,000, but you may make 150,000, right? That still will be better than many of you who's making 50, 80,000 per year, right? Again, as an example which I'm giving.
Correct. And just to get an idea of metrics, so a person who does artificial intelligence and machine learning versus someone who's Salesforce administrator, what would the annual salary differences be? Just to get an idea.
They'll be huge. Okay, Salesforce admin. Well, again, Salesforce admin plus development makes anywhere between 150 to 200,000. Salesforce admin as a standalone makes about 120,000. Salesforce developer between 110 to 150,000. Whereas Python data science with machine learning, they make anywhere between 150 to 300,000.
Okay, thank you. That answers my question.
You're welcome.
Just to add to that, the way we have developed this training session, we are going to start with Python, as I told you, right? Python is quite easy to learn. You might have listened to me while I was talking. So it's easy, and that's how we have developed this overall training capsule for even I'll not say non-IT, but the guys, because nobody is non-IT today, right? Microsoft Word. You have been using laptops. You have been using phone for that matter, right? So I'll not say nobody, is or anybody is non-IT for that matter. But still, yes, we plan this course for specifically who the guys who are not working in the IT faculty. But as Devji clearly said, you need to put in some extra effort to understand, the gaps. You need to put some extra effort to fill in those gaps, and we're going to help you to fill in those gaps. So you might need to, revisit the recording. You might need to relearn have a look at the recording again in the evening, or whenever you get time, so that whatever workshops we are doing, you can do it better, effectively, and understand it better. So you need to put in some extra effort. That's what as Devji correctly said. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
No problem. You said you had a couple of questions, right? Do you have any other questions?
For some of you who are seriously looking must be happy about it. I've been here for 21 years now and built and sold 3 companies. It occurs to you that you can't eat money for food. So it's our art of giving. Needless to say, if most of you were to work on our projects in a long term, we will be making money. But in the short term, it's our way of investing in people. Okay, typically a Python data science course will cost you about $3,500 to $6,500 in the USA. Right? Many county colleges will give you a diploma course for 2 months, 6 months, and on an average, it varies between 3,000 to 6,000. Okay, but that's still teaching you at a surface a theory. Okay, it's a lip service training. It's very expensive, as I said, for a trainer of that skills. Their rates are extremely high because I own an offshore company too, and we have a few hundred employees working for us offshore. We engage some of them, those who are already working with us, and then they spare a few hours in the evening. We give them extra surcharge for doing so. And that's how we are able to offer this for pretty much at no cost. So for those who are simply looking to upgrade their skills, for them, it will be $500. But for those who are unemployed, are looking to enter into IT career and are looking to work on a project through us, it will be will be a great opportunity. If you work through us for at least 3-month long project, it will be a free session. So you give a $500 refundable deposit as it says, it is to be refunded. And if you work through us for 3 months, you get your deposit back. So it will be free. I live in Virginia. Can I work remote? Well, Virginia is a great market. All defense, federal contracts are in Virginia. Some of it can be remote, some of it can be on-site. In light of COVID-19 pandemic, everything is remote as we speak, at least in the next 6-12 months. Afterwards, there will be some on-site, but COVID-19 taught us one thing, that everything can be remote. Okay, so we all are working remote. My entire offshore, even my all consultants here in the USA. Okay, have I answered all the questions? Yes. Okay, all projects as we see in the near future is all going to be remote. So,
That's please go
yes.
ahead.
So, yeah, so my question is that suppose I'm completing this training, so do you have any opportunity in future after completing this course I can work on that, or?
Well, if you don't work for me on my project, I lose money on you. Okay, so as a businessman, my intent is that I must get you a job after the training.
There are many opportunities available as of now. If you see, even if you so you can just have a look at job portals. There are many opportunities available right now, and they are really hot cake. Frankly speaking, this is the buzzword in overall. If you know data science, you can start really high and good paying job as of today as well. So that'll be my answer. Yes, there are many opportunities available. So I don't see any challenge there. And we as in Guru School, we are going to help you to reach there as best as we can. And there are of course support for interviewing. We have great amount of data banks with us, so that we can share with you. We can prepare all your arms and animations. We can help during the interview also. We have an on-job support help as well, as Devji shared with us earlier. And so we are looking for helping you out throughout your career till you really are comfortable in your chair and start working as a data scientist. So we are there for you for a longer period of time. So we are looking for a long-term engagement. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think it's fine. I got my answer. Thanks a lot.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. Any other questions?
Anil, how many jobs you need? One. Anil, how many jobs you need?
Yes, definitely one job.
That's it. You'll get.
But the thing is that having good job, yeah. And
being
also
good is
I
all
was
relative,
looking if
right?
I can get.
Everything is relative.
Very important.
So everything is relative. What is good, what is not good, right? If you look 10 years ago, your definition of good was different. 5 years ago, it was different. 3 years ago, it was different. Even last year, before pandemic, things were different. So it's always an evolving what is good or what is bad. All I can assure you is, do the SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunity, threat, or compare us with others, and you will have a self answer, okay, to yourself. Pavani Rajala. Next.
Hi, my name is Chandra. Actually, I am Pavani husband.
Lower your hand if you have answered, if you have already asked that question.
Hi. Hi, my name is Chandra. I am the Pavani husband. Yeah, she is learning like a BA analysis. She can learn the same time with the Python also.
Okay. BA itself, I'll not say it's a difficult track. She's learning, means she's learning BA right now. It's almost it'll complete in next 2 or 3 weeks, and most probably the way we are looking at Python, it'll start after 2 or 3 weeks. So I think we are good in terms of scheduling. So she can, and she can join this batch as well. So I don't see any challenge there.
Okay. No, actually, she is like very much interested about the BA and the actually the Pythons. He is looking like some like a technology is like a language like the like a language based.
Long term plan. I can understand.
Yeah, that's
Very
why. Yeah, actually, she don't know any idea about the software. Just initially, he joined like a BA analyst. Now she got like a better idea and like how it's going to the market, and he need to capture the market also. That's
sure.
why. Yeah, that's why she's thinking like which one like we can learn like the both like a same time. Like which we can get like the job first, she can go join that the way she is thinking as of now, right now.
Perfectly. It's a kind of normal evolution to a BA. But yes, there are quite a few technicalities has to be learned, and certain mathematical terms also have to be used. So those are kind of have a steep learning curve. So we'll get there. Don't worry. And it's a natural evolution. So natural step looks really promising. Frankly speaking. Thanks for that. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I answered your questions. Yeah. Thank you.
Does anyone have any other questions?
Anil K asked, do we get certification after completing this course? Yes, you'll get a certification from Guru School. Like you have participated in this course, and you completed this course, and related to that. About the external certifications, we do have special additional training batches or capsules required for extra certifications with the Python fraternity or data science fraternity, that we can walk that extra miles for you with you. About online projects, yes, we call them workshop, because rather than anything doing for a client, we do it internally. We have certain really critical problem already analyzed and build workshop around that, so that we as a team, training partners, do hands-on workshops throughout the interview. And there are many workshops, believe me. So whatever you learn, you need to present yourself, you need to display that if you really learned it with the complete technical detailing and all those things. So that's have been checked, and then we'll give you the certificate. And that's how we basically prepare yourself, so that you can be a really great candidate in terms of interview as well as on job. That's us. That's what we do normally.
Yes, the intent is to help you get a job, okay, which pays 6-figure, right? Rest all becomes ancillary bells and the whistles. Like you're buying a car. What is the primary objective of a car? To take you in a comfortable mode from place A to place B. Having a spoiler, having a cushion vibrator, having a moonroof, sunroof, having Bose speakers, these are all becomes ancillary preferred utilities. Okay. So on the same principle, these courses are devised to help you get a job. Okay. You will have a leg up against the competition, where at least 90% of the training institutes are there to rob you, charge you $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, give you theoretical training, and then let you cut and dry. Whereas there are about 10% companies like us. Now, some of them may charge exorbitant amount of money, because again, there is nothing wrong. It's a capitalist country, and they may charge money, but at least they are ensuring you're having a career guided employment opportunity. Okay. So consider us as one of those few companies we just walk that extra mile, because it's all about, life is all about long term. Your network is your net worth today. So we want to imbibe, and we want to create a positivity environment where, what we are trying to do is we are trying to unite, because primarily in IT, 1/3 of the population is Indian Americans here in the USA. So as I have a dual heritage, I'm simply trying to optimally utilize my Janma Bhumi and Karma Bhumi. Janma Bhumi being India, Karma Bhumi being the USA, and try to offer the best I can to the Indian Americans here in the USA, using the primarily the Indian trainers who are from India. They are already working for me, and this becomes a supplementary income for them, because most of the training track happens either in late evening, which is their early morning, right? So it supplements their income, which is a great, having an extra pocket of income for them, as well as for you will have a leg up on the competition who has only gone through the theoretical training, because these people are also kind of engaged with you towards your resume preparation, vendor interview preparation, client interview preparation, as well as on-the-job support. The key is on-the-job support. Otherwise, you'll easily get booted out, right? Because all projects are remote now. So when you have this able team standing next to you, with you in the US time, it's simply going to help you towards sustaining on the project. And then as you make money, we make money. And then most of this will be mundane, 80-90% will be the same thing. So practice makes you perfect. And then eventually, you learn things. And as and when you settle down, we want you to think of it that, yes, there was this company who really helped me shape my career, working in corporate America. You get full-time consultants, contract consultants, and most of our business is referral, because we strongly believe in people. It's the people who can make or break any organization, and we invest in people. That's the best thing you can do. You do your level best for the upliftment and for the betterment of the mankind, and then magic happens. Okay, so whatever it takes you to help you get a job is what our intent. Rest all becomes ancillary. Okay, and every job is a unique job. So based on the job, is going to help you towards preparing for the interview, right? Because it's a huge topic. So how to customize it, how to give that focus is what we will be there. So we are not there for a month and two and train you and then you are off. No, you all will be clubbed together in a small WhatsApp group. There'll be people who will be better than you. There'll be people like you. There'll be people who are a few notches behind you, and then it's group learning. And it's a positivity, having that faith that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and then the positivity itself will subconsciously, consciously will help you towards engage in more meaningful way and to get a job. Okay. Any more questions? If no more questions, then I thank you all for taking your time out and joining us today. As I said, this is a recorded session, so a recording will be uploaded and will be shared with you. If you have any other additional questions, the flyer has our email ID, training@guruschools.com. Please feel free to write to us, and we'll be more than happy to answer any questions for you. Today evening, 8:30 Eastern Time, we have another session. If you want to join that session, again, write to us and we will send you the link. It will be similar Zoom session, and that will be more on Salesforce administration and development. Like yesterday, we had one track, which is Salesforce administration. Today's track is combo skills on Salesforce administration and development, which is another good skill to have. Okay. Thank you all for your time.
Thanks a lot. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.